Multifamily is what we're used to.
Sensei.
Okay, as down one advances, that reverses K. Oh, and this is your red dot that cats chase after.
Beautiful. How's everyone doing tonight? Good. Yes. I'm honored to be here, guys. Like Bob was saying, a couple short years ago, I was sitting in these seats. Brand new to real estate. I didn't have a lick of knowledge or education, didn't come from a real estate family or background whatsoever. And I just went out on a whim. I made a decision, right? So I reached out to Bob, did some research, and I'm like, all right, this guy's doing something. Sat down for lunch, and the rest is history. But I just want to sit and talk about the power of your network for a minute. Because, I mean, you guys could watch the speakers and presenters, you go to conferences and get all the knowledge and information, but the value is inside of this room. Like, I don't know if you understand the proximity, the people that you might be standing next to who have experience doing deals, finding deals, funding deals, and everything in between, right? And you guys are going to probably hear me say this at least 10 times tonight, but real estate is a team sport, right? Together, we all achieve more. If you try to go in this journey alone, you're going to get left behind, right? So understand the proximity that's inside of this room and make sure that you make at least a couple connections tonight. Now, Bob introduced me. This is us. At least my wife is mad right now because she gave me a different picture to.
5 pictures, Joe. And that's the one you took.
And so I'm not a great planner. She sent it to me, but I had already sent this to Bob's email, so I didn't swap it out. My bad. But I'm a believer, right? God has blessed me so much in this journey, and without His guidance, I would not be where I am today. Family, man. Family is everything. She's really challenged me to, put down the phone at 5 o'clock at night and be intentional with that time that we have, because in many cases in this journey of entrepreneurship, it's very easy to overlook simple things. And, as the hunters, the drivers, when you got that laser sharp focus, it can be hard to step back, but you got to do it, man. You got to do it, because at the end of the day, it's all you got. Can't bring your wealth with you. Entrepreneurship has changed my life in so many ways. And we're just getting started. We can go so deep and so wide, but you got to start with a single strategy and a single tool, right? That tool, that knife, when you work it with precision, can cut into some of the deepest things, right? Can take you places that you never thought were possible. Culture creator, the goal inside of our network is really just to empower real estate investors with the tools that they need to scale, right? So Investor Syndicate, you guys will see this logo probably everywhere moving forward. We want to help more people win, right? When you guys win, we win, right? And by giving back, each one teach one, we can all elevate. And I'm a real estate investor. People ask me what I do, and I don't really know how to answer it. I'm like,
Andy can answer that.
I record videos. If you guys aren't following us, please scan it. Check us out on YouTube. Pull out your phone, scan the code, and make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Does it work?
It should work. I tested it outside of the screen. Follow us. We do our best to release weekly content, 2-3 videos a week, just in different asset classes, different strategies that we're working towards and moving into. I've challenged myself to really press the box where I'm not always comfortable in this journey, right? But I surround myself with a group of experts who I know if I don't have an answer, I know who to go to, right? So it's, again, coming back with the proximity of your network will change your life forever. You guys locked in? Word. So my title for this presentation tonight is Why Not You? Why not you? If I can do it, anybody can do it. It's going to take a lot of grit, a lot of grace. It's going to take daily motivation to get out of bed, even the days you don't want to, but you got to know why you're doing it, right? If you're getting in the game just to make money and get rich, it's probably not the game for you, because you're going to get beat up along the journey. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint in heart. It's not, right? So you got to have a much, much deeper rooted reason and meaning that you commit to the daily disciplines, that you commit to studying and implementing new techniques, and you commit to this lifelong journey of real estate, entrepreneurship, business building, whatever that might look like. Now, my goal for tonight is one simple thing, just to get you out of your comfort zone so that you can get in the game. Because great things, they don't live inside of comfort, right? It's easy to get cushy, right? Work the 9-to-5 dream, this, retire and get a pension, the dream the world, the government has fed to us. It's comfortable, it's cushy, right? But that's not where the growth happens. As you start to step into uncomfortable realms, and we'll get into a little bit of it towards the end of the presentation, but as you get towards those uncomfortable seasons where you feel the opposition, the tension, and you're stepping into that fear, that's when you know you're on the right track. Because I tell you, every single time when the opposition gets the heaviest, I know that I'm one step closer to breakthrough. Kid you not. Like right before breakthrough, you always hit the opposition. I don't know what it is, haven't figured it out, but God will test your continence. We all have goals, right? It's easy to put your vision board together, right? Map out your 10-year plan, 5-year plan. Oh, I'd love to have a house on the lake one day and this and that. But how many of us really have a strategic plan, right? How many of you guys have written down your goals? That's probably, that's actually really good. We'll say 40%, roughly. That's good. So that's where you start. If you don't put your vision and your plans down onto paper, then you're not giving your brain anything to work towards, right? Now, let's be honest, in this fast-paced, technologically driven society with social media and dopamine hits throwing right jabs this way and that, or chasing likes and comments and everything else, there's a lot of distraction, right? I'm distracted every single day. But if you can't find that quiet, that solitude, time to get your thoughts clear, to put them on paper, you're never going to get the results that you are seeking. You probably don't even know what you're seeking, right? You got to get clarity, and it starts with having a plan, right? So get very intentional with the plans that you put together and how you plan to execute those. You got to know where you want to go before asking for directions, right? Many of us, we get started. We're going. It's great. Wholesaling looks sexy, right? Let's chase after that. And Andy teases me every time. Good friend of mine, but he's like, what shiny object are you chasing today? Right? It's a problem for sure. It's a good problem when you got the right team in the right circle that can take that vision and execute it, right? But when you guys are getting started in this industry, you got to know where you want to go. And then ask for directions. And then ask one of these gurus or mentors to take you to lunch or take them to lunch, right? Not first. You don't want to be just consuming, like, hey, let me take this person to lunch so I can get as much knowledge as I can so I can take their strategies and go out and implement. Seek first on how you can add value to what they are already doing. Get in the trenches. Ask them how you can serve them, how you can add value, and that's going to be your shortcut. That's going to be your doorway. So my question for you guys is why are you here tonight? Think about that. Bask on that question for a minute. If there was one sentence, one reason that you showed up to Lexington Town Hall, sat in these seats to learn real estate, or whatever it might be, learn how to turn your life around, why are you here? It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. But let it sink in. Let it sink in. Because successful people, they don't have any less problems than you and I, but they just ask better questions. And as a result, they find better answers, right? Business is very simple. Finding problems in the ecosystem, right? Finding problems in the marketplace and coming up with a solution. That's simple. So let's look at two trains of thought. We got the old way of thinking, right? Turn on the news, watch the fear, turn on Netflix. I'm not going there. Turn on Netflix, crack open a beer, whatever it might look like, right? That's that pattern of thinking, that the way that human psychology works, it's deeply ingrained inside of our character. It's hard to break it, right? It's like hard to break those pathways when you've been driving down them for so long, right? But there's a new way, there's a better way. It's called renewing your mind every single day. That's the only way that you're going to get that clutter and that mess and that distraction out of your mind so you can focus on where you're going. You're not caught up on this hamster wheel. So uncovering your limiting beliefs. Why do you believe what you believe? A lot of it was picked up from childhood, schools, public education, whatever environment we're immersed around, right? Think about a seed planted in, the rocks, dirt, fertile soil. The seed is going to grow at the amount of acceleration, for lack of a better term, with the seed and the nourishment that it's surrounded by, right? So ourselves and our mind, the beliefs that we have, well, we're going to know based on the nourishment that we've been provided up until this point, right? So if you're not where you want to be, start with identifying where your thoughts are coming from and figure out a way to get to where you want to go, right? So growth and fixed mindset. I always go back to this little graph thing, but I mean, there's two ways to view everything in life, right? Half glass full, half glass half empty. How do you view your outside circumstances? How do you view life? How do you view opportunity? Are you always going to be Debbie Downer, negative Nancy that's talking about, oh, this or oh, that, they could have done that better, like a crab in the bucket trying to crawl its way out? Or are you going to truly focus on where you want to go? Are you going to protect your circle and surround yourself with people that actually support you, encourage you? Growth mindset, guys. You got to have the growth mindset. So in order to create your vision moving forward, this is Steve Jobs. I stole it. But in order to create your vision moving forward, you got to connect the dots moving backwards, right? Our past is not who we are, right? It's just the journey that's got us to where we are today. But you got to know where you came from, right? You can't forget about it. Don't look back, right? You got to keep moving forward, but take the principles and the lessons that you have gained along this journey, just a small little nugget, small lessons that you can learn how you either made a mistake and got better, learned a lesson, or you took out those victories, right? Taking out those nuggets, planting it into your toolbox, into your system, your strategic plan on how you plan to get a little bit better every single day. So my story, it ain't no shock to anyone. I think most of you guys have probably heard my story a little bit inside of the room. This is where it started, like the transformation process, right? It's not where it all started, but it's where Knucklehead Ben, who was just all dumb and full of pride and, had something to prove to the world, picked up a pretty serious case, right? Spent 5.5 years in prison back in New Mexico. Long story short, best thing that ever happened to me. That's where God got a hold of my heart and transformed my life from the inside out. It was in those moments of silence, of destitute, hitting rock bottom and having no place to look but up, that I was able to hear. I was able to listen clearly, right? Started to get rid of some of just the, dominating thoughts, the beliefs that weren't serving me anymore, these things that I've been holding on to since childhood, addiction. And it started to fill me up with new opportunities. So when you start at the bottom, you got no place to look but up. But you got to be willing to climb out, right? You got to. So looking at that, it's an uphill climb. Let's be honest, life can be hard. Every single one of us, we're going to have hard days. It's going to be difficult. But the climb is difficult by design, right? It's there to make us a little bit better. A little bit better or a little bit worse, right? Everything is either growing and expanding in life, or it's kind of drifting away, going desolate, right? Nothing stays the same. Change is the one constant everywhere in life, right? So if we're not waking up, getting out of bed, asking ourselves, how can I get 1% better today than I was yesterday? There's a good chance that sitting in that stagnant state of mind, we're going to start to wither slowly, right? And that 1% withering is going to compound over a year's time. And we're going to lose a lot of momentum. We're going to lose a lot of hope. We're going to lose, joy, love, things that we want to be surrounded by. But it starts with making the decision, guys. Crawl your way out. No matter what your current situation looks like. So let's talk about, I'll dive in a little bit about stepping back into society, right? I've been away for almost 6 years. I felt good. I was in good shape. I invested in a lot of self-help programs on the inside, right? Gave me a chance to really get my head on straight and figure out kind of where I wanted to go. But I got out with this workaholic mentality, right? Started waiting tables at the Blue Marlin. I would work every single day, relentlessly. To the point, if I wasn't on the schedule, I'd wake up, I'd be eating my cereal in the morning, and I'd just be waiting. We had this app called Schedule Fly, and I knew every single morning one of these college kids was going to give up their shift, right? So I'd be sitting here, and as soon as it would come up, I'd snag it. Boom. Because I knew I made really good money in the evenings. Carrie knew me. So Carrie's family, they basically took me in. I moved out here, moved in my auntie and uncle's basement for a couple months, started working, got involved in a church group, right? Got a good accountability association community with me. And Carrie's family pretty much took me in. They embraced me at holidays, Christmas, Easter, dinners with the family. Like it's been a journey. And he saw me in those times. They knew that if it was nighttime, I'd be at work, right? But I look back on those moments and it's priceless, right? That was the training grounds, right? That was the preparation. But where I'm going with this is I had this attitude ingrained inside of my head that I had to work twice as hard as the person next to me. I had to, right? If I'm going to make it, I can't just get back into college, present this corporate degree to a corporate employer saying, hey, hire me, bud. Right? They're gonna look at my rap sheet and be like, yeah, we're good. You got violent felonies. So I had to break the rhythm of working for my money, right? Like working every single day, going in the trenches, showing up. And it was a habit, it was a pattern, right? That was ingrained in my head. You gotta put the work in. You gotta work hard. Show up every day. But I'm telling you what, the higher that we climb in this journey of entrepreneurship, you actually realize that sometimes less is more, right? Learn to use this type of work, right? Learn to use your mind and to think creatively, going back to the solutions, right? Solving problems in the marketplace. If you can look at a situation that's standing there in front of you and literally just walk around it, right? And view it from a different angle and a different vantage point. One option might not work, but if you can approach that from a different angle or a different perspective, you might come up with a much better solution, right? So 3 years in the restaurant, something like that? 3 years in the restaurant, just working relentlessly. And first business I wanted to build, I wanted to be a DJ, right? Well, I was a DJ back in my old life. And I'm like, well, maybe I can take this skill set and turn it over to something more positive instead of playing at nightclubs and dance parties and festivals, maybe I can serve like corporate events, weddings, private functions. And so I started pursuing that. And then I read a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Simple principle, begin with the end in mind. That had me questioning, do I really want to be this DJ hyping up the crowd at 60 years old? And the simple answer to that question changed that play, right? Changed the trajectory of my life from there. And then I picked up this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And its simplest form, Robert Kiyosaki breaks down the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset puts money in your pocket every day or every month. A liability pulls it out, right? Your cars, Jordans. Your house could be a liability. I like to look at my house as an asset. Yeah, for sure. That's true. Yeah, you gotta be smart. Jordans, right? I like shoes, but not in this season. I like houses more. So anyways, this opened up my mind to the possibility of real estate. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't even know where to start, but I knew that this was it. I knew that I was going to figure out a way, right? I was working hard, right? But I just had to reprogram the direction and make sure that I was focusing on the right things. And I was channeling that energy and attention to where I wanted to go. I already said it. Climb is difficult by design. It's here, guys. So let's go back to the first very wholesale deal that I ever did. I remember it vividly. 2708 High Circle. It was we were doing a RVM campaign, right? This is first when RVM was coming out, 2018. And this real nice old lady called me back and said, "Hey, I heard you're calling me about my house." And I just asked her what she wanted for it. And she wanted $8,000. Done. Let's go. So I sent her a contract. Didn't really feel real. Didn't settle in quite yet, right? But I'm like, let's go. Something's happening. Sent the contract. She got it inked up. Sent it back, DocuSign. I was able, a week later, sold it for 18 grand, right? $10,000. Picked up the check. I'm like, this is real. This is it, right? Like, that was my golden ticket. It made me a believer. I knew that it was real. I didn't say it actually took me 8 months to get there.
Were you still working at Wholesalers?
I was. Yeah, man. Yep. I would say this deal happened in like April 2018. 17. But so here's the thing. I was looking in my email because I didn't even remember the numeric of it, but I wanted to find the house. And the closing statement said 2018. My wife's checking me.
He quit Blue Marlin in December of 2017. We also bought a house and got married all within 3 months of each other. So it was a lot going on.
Yeah, this is what.
That's the only reason, because it was like a huge impact in our life during that time. And this happened before. I don't know if it just closed maybe at the very beginning of it. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead with your story. That's fine.
Yeah, God spoke 3 things to me in that season. It was buy a house, quit your job, get married. All in that season, right? I was listening. It's crazy, right? Why would I buy a house and then leave my job? Got to pay the mortgage, right? But I needed the W-2 income to qualify. Did you? No. Peter almost got my mortgage on that, and that was when I was still brand new.
Well,
Brand
I
newbie.
I met you like this deal's under contract, and you were just so excited. You were talking about it, and I was like, "This is cool. Like, this
Yeah.
guy, he should go somewhere with this."
Yeah. I was just fresh out, right? Just excited. But yeah, man. That was it, right? That's where it started. That's where I became a believer, the vehicle of real estate. Now think about, what if you could take that number, the $10,000 payday, what if you could multiply that times 10? What if you could multiply it times 10 every month? That's $1 million. That's actually 1.2 mil each month. That's possible. I mean, home investors. That's possible, huh? Yeah, it's possible. This market's pretty competitive, but it's possible. So our team, we've wholesaled hundreds of houses across the United States. Over the past 18 months, 90% of my business has actually been out of state. As crazy as that sounds. We've adopted this virtual model where the pension funds, the hedge funds are paying stupid amounts of money. Like we call it, it's been the unicorn season. Literally the past 18 months where the government's been printing money like it's going out of style, unicorn season. I've never seen a cash buyer pay 100% for a wholesale deal, but they have, right? So we reverse engineered the concept and we started to begin with the end in mind, right? We said, where's the most amount of capital and liquid being placed, right? It's in these bigger metro markets, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, Miami, Charlotte, Raleigh. Little Rock was a cool little tertiary market for us. But we took this wholesaling model and we morphed it into a virtual powerhouse, if you will, right? Now, the cool thing about wholesaling, you can wholesale anything, right? Like a house is cool. But in fact, you can buy it low and not actually close on it, but sell it for higher in that contract period. It's pretty life-changing. My acquisitions manager he bought a car on terms, right? So he got his cousin to owner finance a car, and then he flipped that for a profit. You can apply this in just about any area, right? Single-family real estate is not the only asset class that you can wholesale. You can wholesale multifamily. You can wholesale motels. We'll get to that in a little bit, right? But it's an amazing concept and vehicle if you can apply the simple principles, right, that you learn at that ground level. But you gotta have the blueprint, right? You gotta have a strategic plan on how you plan to get there. So over the past couple years, we bought an office. Most of you guys probably seen us. Don helped fund this first go around.
That's yours?
Yeah, that's us. We're right there on Hardin Street.
Yeah, that's down the street from us.
Yeah? Yeah, that's us. So we bought the old Black News building.
Yeah, right across the street.
Mm-hmm. It started, so we actually wholesaled a house from the Washingtons. Super, super sweet family. Bought a house, wholesaled it, had really, really great rapport built with them, right? So just on a long-term follow-up process, 6 months later, my acquisitions manager, just going through the routine, got him back on the phone like, hey guys, just wanted to follow up, see how everything is going. You don't always need to talk about the sale, right? Relationships, it's a relationship game. But just followed up and we learned that they actually had this commercial building, right? It was listed on the market for like $200,000 for 6 months, whatever, till the contract period expired. Long story short, we bought this old shell of a building. Like it was falling apart pretty bad. I took some newer pictures that I didn't get to Bob in time. You guys will see it on YouTube. But yeah, the roof was had a big, huge, gaping hole in the roof. It was just leaking. All that's water, a little bucket we had. It's me and my contractor, Jason, going over the renderings. We're figuring out how we're going to take this old cinder block building and bring it back to life. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I was actually a little scared, to be honest. But we figured it out. So here's the cool thing, and Andy's the first one that actually pointed this out to me. Well, first off, City of Columbia actually gave me a forgivable grant. So I got $35,000 of free money, forgivable loan money, because we happen to be in the commercial retention and redevelopment corridor. So every year, City of Columbia will select like 3 city blocks, right? The areas where they're looking to pump growth and revitalize the area a little bit. So we got some free money to rehab the house, the office. I had to put in a good bit of my own money, right? But we made out pretty good. I don't know what it's worth. This right here, who knows what that is?
That's Texas.
Tax office.
Yeah.
We got a bail bonds office next to the jail. Now, think about it. Everyone in Richland County's got to pay their real estate taxes there. So we got our little cash property offers. We got the solution. We don't get quite as much foot traffic as I might have thought. But I expect it's going to start picking up, especially with interest rates rising, the market turning. We'll see where it goes, right? But again, just strategic angle right there in the heart of Columbia. All from just learning the vehicle of wholesaling. We just bought our dream house right here in the Golden Hills Golf Course, right down the road. The backyard was tore back and in scraps. We just renovated the backside. We hope to host some small little events and real estate gatherings over there. But cold call, right? We pulled the probate list. Got some people got Miss Tamara on the phone. This lady was in a super, super distressed situation. Husband passed away about a year prior, and she was just living in this 4,000 square foot house, depressed, living in the dark, right? Everything was on one floor, just really, really sad situation, right? So we met her right where she was, first on the phone, right? Came down to her level, and we listened. We listened to her situation. We listened to what she was going through, right? And in the back of our mind, and one thing I ingrain in our acquisitions team all the time is we always want to approach every relationship with a service first mentality. Some people are like the hardcore closers, like straight to the point. JD might even be one of them. But I like to approach our sales service first, right? Like my ultimate goal, stepping into this house, Mr. Seller, is just to identify how we can best serve you. You open up with that line, and guess what? You just earn their trust. So again, real estate is a vehicle, guys. It's not everything. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it's a vehicle to take you from where you are now, and it'll take you anywhere that you want to go. No matter. You can go buy a yacht and sail off to Cabo if you want. Right? Why not? Or just buy a yacht and host high-level masterminds there, or Airbnb it. But the opportunity, guys, the opportunity of a lifetime has got to be seized inside of the lifetime of that opportunity, right? Got to take action. Like we're sitting here now, cool. We can learn the strategies. We can continue going on YouTube University, which you can find anything that you want on YouTube, by the way, anything. But it's going to take you a pretty long time, right? Because it's not organized in a systematic way, right? And I'm about compressing that time. What if you can take all of that knowledge and education base to learn from somebody else? Like, how many of you guys read? Readers? Readers are leaders. You guys hear that in school? Gosh, that's the truth. It's the truth. You learn so much inside of these books. Like, think about some of my best mentors I've never even met in person, right? Open up the page of this book, and they've compressed life lessons, principles, strategies, all into this 200-page copy, right? To give you a guide map, give you a blueprint on how you can maybe learn from their mistakes, but how you can also take their strategic angles and apply them to what you are doing, right? You don't have to take it all. Some things might not make sense, right? But if you can just, again, pull one little nugget out of every book, out of every conversation, out of every relationship that you have, right? Because again, business is transacting relationships in the marketplace. So every conversation is a transaction. It is. So last 2 years at a glance, it's been a crap show. We'll just be honest, right? A lot of tension, a lot of division, really sad, right? But 2020, the whole world shuts down. COVID-19 just shocks us, right? Freaked out. It was a scary season, right? And then from 2020 to 2022, government just printed money, right? Whoop, whoop. Money's an illusion, if you guys didn't know, right? Money's a faith-based system. It really is. Like, what is money backed on, right? It's once after coming off the gold standard in the 70s, money is just, they can print as much as they want, right? But it's part of the system, because guess what? If we work inside of the system to make a living wage and they can pay you the money that they printed off the press, right? It keeps you working inside of the system, which is great. We need productivity. We need economy. Absolutely. right?
You said business is transacting money.
So business is simply transacting relationships in the marketplace and solving problems. I guess there's two sides of it, but identifying problems, transacting relationships, and coming up with solutions. Inflation on the rise. Well, we know the interest rates are rising. The market turned overnight, which our whole model flopped a little bit. I mean, we're still turning. We're doing good, but we had to pivot, right? Like overnight, whoop, hedge funds stopped buying at 100%. Offers shot straight down to 80, which is fine. But again, this unicorn season where I'm lock up a house at 90% and sell it for 100, it's a freaking unicorn, right? We've never seen that, right? But again, it's an interesting time, right? World shuts down, government's printing money. It's crazy, guys. If you guys don't know, we're currently standing in the middle of the largest separation of wealth in human history. Happening right now, right? So when a transfer of wealth is happening, it's not that everyone's getting hit, right? And recession and everything else, but it's simply changing hands, right? Money is changing hands. So technology has opened up so many different pathways, right? It's actually given us knowledge that most of us would have never had access to 20 years ago, right? I think of it like the gatekeepers, right? Think about like big buku corporations, right? Buku corporations, governments, like there's a huge barrier of entry, right? And they don't give you the secrets, the hidden gems. You wouldn't have access to a bunch of real estate strategies before technology opened it up, right? But again, that barrier to entry got shattered. I believe a lot of just the clash of power, it's a power struggle. Why? It's over money and power. That's it. Not hard to see. But why do you think all these houses in this hyper-competitive real estate market that we've ever seen has been taking place? It's because of this free money, right? It's just spiked housing prices. And these hedge funds, they're the prospects. They're the ones that are buying these houses for crazy amounts of money and just spiking it more. They're raising up a generation of renters. And it's scary as hell. It is. And why is Wall Street buying up Main Street? I mean, real estate's probably the most physical asset that you could buy, right? I mean, I was riding that crypto train real nice before the bottom fell out, right? And now I'm just like, all right, got caught holding the bag. But real estate, that's something it's always there. It's physical. People need a place to live, right? So a couple years ago, 2 years ago, 18 months, Wall Street pension funds identified single-family real estate as an asset class, right? So instead of investing in the stock markets, they started investing in cash flow real estate properties, right? And they built a model around that. Hence the reason they're paying crazy amounts of money. There we go. The world was full of fear, right? But we saw opportunity, right? We leaned into the fear. Now, I'm a big believer, again, you guys heard me say it, but whenever I sense fear, I'm going to lean in. It's not comfortable, right? But on the other side of our fear lies a promise or an opportunity. So how do you lean into that fear? You got to feel it, and you got to trust that still small inner voice somewhere deep inside, right? So you'll know when it's there, but next time that you feel extreme fear and pressure, you might be on the verge of breakthrough. Might be something real close, right? But we saw in this pandemonium, right, global pandemic, we saw opportunity because I saw the amount of money that the institutional investors are doing. They're going to buy the houses with or without us. Believe that, right? Ain't no stopping it. It's a machine. But I'm going to do my best to bring a little bit of that liquidity into our camp, right? So we can position at least ourselves and our family, community. So we scaled our business on the back of these institutional giants. That's been our model for about the past 2 years. Virtual, completely virtual. Locking up houses sight unseen, sign the contract, send it to the fund, get the offer, and then our transaction coordination department schedules inspections. Inspector goes and looks at the house. We line up closing. 2 weeks later, bink, wire hits. I mean, there's more factors to it, but in its simplest form, we did our best to multiply, right? Came with its own challenges, but that's where we built one of our products. We got a lot of different educational materials inside of the investor syndicate, but the hedge fund code was our JV model. This is where we took new investors, experienced investors, people that were doing 1 deal a month, 5 deals a month, and we showed them the code, right? We showed them the roadmap. Hey guys, these are the locations and these are the areas where the most amount of money and liquidity is being spent. So we're taking this buy box, breaking it down per zip code. We give our partners zip code lists, reverse engineer everything, and cut them loose, right? Go find deals. And guess what? When they found deals, we're here, right? We're here to partner up. We're here to help you win. It was probably the most amazing model that I really just stumbled into, right? Got plugged in with some big groups, and we do business with the biggest funds in the nation. But we took the one-to-many strategy, right? We said, okay, we have this extreme niche, right? We got an edge in the marketplace. When I know that my buyers are going to pay 20% higher than all the other buyers, after a profit split, each party's still walking out with far more money than they would have trying to sell a deal the traditional way. Straight up, right? Now, we are in I call this the holding pattern, right? Economy turned, hedge funds slowed down their buying model, their bids started dropping, but it's in a holding pattern. Because what we're gathering is that between now and how long it takes to establish the bottom of the market, and whenever we establish this bottom of the market, the big guys turn that machine on, and it's go time, right? It's go time. So this holding pattern, everybody's a little bit tense, uptight. I mean, I feel it. My business has felt it a little bit, right? But essentially when interest rates rise, it's like, think about a vacuum sucking the liquidity out of the market, right? So there's less money available to borrowers, buyers, right? So less money, less buying power. So we're sitting in this holding pattern. A lot of different directions that could go. Andy, our video guy, he's been helping with some of the crypto calls and doing a lot of deep market studies, economics. Ray Dalio's got a really good book called Principles in a Changing World Order. And basically, United States is towards the end of the 80 to 120 year cycle that most of these superpower nations are in reign, right? The current system as we see it is so far in debt. This is speculation. It's not hard to see. So far in debt that it's got no choice but to go belly up. System has to bankrupt itself. That's all this weird market manipulation. You guys feel market manipulation? Yeah. It's not hard to see. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Real estate is a team sport. Together, we all achieve more. That's it. Really, it's pretty simple, right? And my only strength is that I know all the things I'm not good at, or all the things I actually hate doing, right? So one actionable step you guys could take with you, maybe do this in your quiet time or tomorrow. Take a piece of paper, draw a big line down the middle. And on this side, write all of the things that you love doing, things that give you joy, give you energy, things that make you feel alive inside. And on this side, write down the things that make you angry, that make you feel like you're dying inside. Those stay on this side. And whatever the tasks are, whether it be managing, actually everything, other than videos. No, that's like a running joke. My wife runs my business for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, but she handles a lot. This contract to close, that's her department. All right, we work on strategic relationships, bringing new opportunities and business in, right? But my strength is, I guess I like to talk. But we have weekly calls, right? Every Wednesday, 2 o'clock Eastern time, we got about 40 to 50 people that come on our Zoom call, and we dive in with different strategies. Started off when the market was banging. I just give them the roadmap, like, hey guys, these markets are hitting right now. Like, go after this, go after Jacksonville, Atlanta, right? These are the hot spots. I'm getting high offers here. But now that the market's turned, we're just pivoting a little bit, and I'm just leading with as much value as I can. Like, hey guys, this is what we're seeing. This is the current state of the market, and this is where we're going.
We say talking, but his greatest strength is helping people, like through talking. He likes to teach people what he knows. He's a go-getter. He read the book, he implements it. So his talking is great.
I would say I'm good at team building.
Well, no, for sure, but I just meant
Yeah.
building, but as far as giving out
Culture building, team building.
people and helping.
Yeah. I'm not good at managing. On this side of my list is like managing people, managing projects. Yeah, screw that. I'm good, right? But there's people that freaking love that stuff. Like JD's a propeller head. He likes managing. He's got like a weird sick management. I don't know what you call it, right? But where I'm going with this, guys, is there's people that love doing the things that you don't, right? So the best thing you can do is identify your superpower, identify what you enjoy doing, and wake up and do it. Just do it, right? Wake up, get out of bed, and do things that you enjoy. You only got one life to live, so why continue doing the things that make you feel like you're dying inside, right? Sounds simple. It's not, but strategies to scale. I know this has been more like philosophical mindset, because mindset is big, guys. You got to have the foundation. You got to have the mindset before anything else is going to sprout up, right? Think about a house. The foundation laying stage, digging up the ground, cultivating, getting all the concrete, cement, foundation members in place. It takes a long time. Like, they're putting up some new houses in our neighborhood. It probably takes, 3 months. Get that foundation there. But once the foundation is in place, bink, right? All the framing members go up. Next thing you know, all the siding's on the house, the roof's on. Whoop, people are moving in, right? But you gotta build the foundation. Without that foundation, guys, your structure is not going to stand. You might have some quick come-ups, some nice $10,000 grabs, but if you ain't got that foundation piece, guys, it's not going to last. Ground yourself. Invest in self-development. Surround yourself inside of a community that's going to help to support you, encourage you, to lift you up, to teach you new strategies. Proximity is power. So strategies to scale. Number one, guys, and this is just a universal law of leadership, invest in people. Invest in people. But my job should be being the best cheerleader that I can inside of the business, right? I want to find people that are better than me or enjoy doing things more than myself, and then put them in a position where I can pull out their strengths and I can encourage them to step into their greatest selves. Now, I don't always show up and do this because I get caught up in me mode, right? I'm like going down rabbit holes and chasing shiny objects, trying to build new tools, which we got some cool tools that we're building. There's times that I overlook the people right in front of me, right? My team who's counting on me. So invest in people, right? That's one of the best investments you'll ever make. You want to scale, you got to learn to delegate. Fire yourself. The quicker that you can fire yourself, the quicker you can move on to bigger, more important tasks, right? So acquisitions, I was pretty okay with acquisitions. I closed some deals. I'm pretty good. But when I'm going on appointments all the time and every day, I'm caught up in that sales wing, right? And I can't bring in new opportunities through strategic marketing, through partnerships, through capital raising, and anything else that might fit in, right? But learn to delegate, guys. And lastly, create systems. Without a business system, you're constantly going to be spinning on this hamster wheel. Because the ultimate goal of entrepreneurship, it's not just to get super wealthy. The ultimate goal of entrepreneurship is to have freedom. It's to have complete control of your time, of your resources. If your mom's sick, be able to pay the doctor bill. If you want to go to Bali, you go to Bali. If you want to rent a yacht, you rent a yacht, right? That's overboard, but wealth, money is a factor that comes in to the equation, right? But the ultimate goal is freedom. We want choices. We want the ability to choose, to control our environment. So in order to get there, you've got to have standard operating procedures. Every business needs them. I'm good at building them, but once it's there, I got to hand it off, right? Because if I'm caught up managing the operating system, I'm dying. So with that, it's a little hard to see the screen. But this here is our lead bucket. I didn't really understand this principle too strongly for the first couple years I was in the business, right? If we're pulling lists, you got your tax delinquents, tired landlord, pre-foreclosure, probate, divorce, vacant, high equity. Our best converting list, by the way, is tired landlords. That brings in the most opportunity. Find somebody that's owned a property 10 years and more, that's got a little bit of equity in the deal. If they're out of state, that's an added bonus, right? But we're going to go after that. And then how you take that data and implement it into your marketing mix, whether it be SEO, PPC, Facebook, direct mail, bandit signs, cold calling, whatever it is, right? These are all your marketing, right? But these things produce leads, and the leads go into your bucket, right? They go into your funnel. Well, most of us, depending at what level we're at in the game, if you're bringing in, I say 5 leads a day. That's a lot for most people starting out. If you're bringing in 5 leads a day and you're not closing a bunch of deals, it's usually not a lead problem, it's a conversion problem, right? And most of the conversions, yes, it's important to have acquisitions teams that are dialed in. They got to know the closing manual, right? But the thing is, so many of these groups have become so advanced with the rise of technology that we got these ninja freaking systems and CRM platforms that literally automate your drip sequence and your communication platform process all the way out, right? So a lead comes into the funnel and your CRM, blink, hey, thanks for calling, right? 2 days later, hey, Mr. Seller, just wanted to follow up, talk about your property, 123 Main Street. Boom. 4 days later, hey, just wanted to call and see how you're doing, right? Emails, text. Guys, this industry is becoming so advanced, right? And people are playing at such a high level just over the past 4 years, seeing where things have come from when I started. You've got to have a system, right? But this, I like talking about this a lot, right? And this is a training I'll go through with our acquisitions team in many cases. But all these leads are coming into our pipeline, right? And these leads should be treated like gold because they are. One deal, one lead could be a $10,000 payday, could be a $40,000 payday, could be $100,000. One deal. One wholesale deal could be $100,000. And that's small. That's not small. That's small of what it could be, right? People are wholesaling multifamily making $1 million paydays. Anyways, every lead gets a name. Every lead needs to be assigned to your hot lead bucket, your warm lead bucket, or the cold lead bucket, right? Based on the motivation of the seller at the time that they come in to your ecosystem. And if we're not assigning each lead to a bucket, guess what? We're leaving opportunities on the table, right? So our follow-up sequence will look different based on which bucket they fall in. The hot leads, which only happens to be 20% of our deals, by the way, the hot leads, we need to be sending a contract and inking that thing up off the rip, right? These are sellers that raise their hand. Hey, yes, I'm interested in selling. What do you got, right? Those are hot. Well, 80% of the deals, guys, that we should be turning, they're actually warm leads because real estate is situational and it's seasonal, right? So someone that's raising their hand today saying, hey, virtual assistant, you sound like we got a team of VAs in the Philippines, right? If one of my VAs can get a seller to raise their hand, calling from the Philippines with a slight accent, right, then we should be able to close a lot of them. Some of the leads are iffy. Some of them, they're like, yeah, I told them I didn't want to sell it. Why are you calling me? Like, we run into them, right? But anyways, 80% of our deals, guys, we need to have a long-term follow-up sequence that's actually removing the need for human interaction, right? We need the systems and the tools to get there. So that's one of the big pieces that we've been working on trying to crack the code and doing for the past few years. I probably used about 5 CRMs. See, Beast Mode, Investor Fuse 2.0 before they moved to the self-standing. I used REI Reply. I used REI Ignite. We've used a lot of CRMs, and all of them have a gap, right? There's always a little piece that I can't get to fire right or something that I can't get it to connect to. So we've been working relentlessly at figuring out how we're going to crack the code. And we're close. We're close. We almost have the product out. Market Pro. So be on the lookout. You guys will know when it's out. We'll beat the drum about it. But it's not this, ain't going to just be a sales thing. This literally, through the opportunity section, whenever they come into our funnel, we have automated drip sequences built into the CRM. You don't have to set anything up. Automatically connected to a caller. You have phone numbers assigned. Lead drops in. Bloop. Hey, Mr. Seller. Automatically sends a text, right? 2 days later, sends another text. Sends an email. We have RVM built into the system. Where, if you guys know what RVM is, ringless voicemail, it will ring the phone and hang up right away. It actually like drops it, but it drops a message in their inbox, which you can have the message say whatever you want. Our first message is kind of funny. We just want people to call us back. So it's actually like phone ruffling in your pocket, like, right? Of course, you're going to want to call back and see who called, but we just want to get these people back on the phone, right? So we're pretty excited about it. It's been a lot of work, but again, this thing can do so much. It's revolutionary. Like we can plug in email, we can plug in text, we can plug in social media, Facebook Messenger, anything we want, all on drip sequences, and it's got an app. So JD was talking to me today from the app on his phone, just like he was calling on his cell phone.
Yeah, texted, emailed,
yeah.
called, and all is in one messenger app.
Who saw Lisa's Facebook post today? No, Andy did. That's funny. It'd probably be hard to grasp it. I was messing with her last night. I'm like, hey, beautiful, from like a random text number.
I told him it was possible, and he started doing it. I said, well, I don't want her to think that I was texting her, hello, beautiful.
And then I get a screenshot like, hey.
Somebody's texting creeper.
That's literally what it was.
Yeah.
He was texting me from I got a phone call, and I didn't, it's past 10 o'clock at night, I'm in bed, and he was like, in the basement working away with JD on this, and I didn't think nothing of it, and I'm like, okay, that's weird, but random numbers call me all the time, so I just didn't answer it. Well, then it texted me, hello, beautiful, and then it said, and then like 3 minutes later, it was like, are you still coming by tonight? I screenshotted it immediately, and I'm like, what the heck? And he's like, yeah, what the heck? And I was like, who is that? And I'm like, he goes, it's me.
So you can use it for good or evil.
Yeah. Good thing we're on the good side. Yeah, but it's super cool. Again, this ain't just a sales pitch. We should be launching next week. Actually, our team is onboarding this week. It's ready. So anyways, we're going to open a beta version. $49 a month. I'm not selling this yet. We got to make sure it fires right. Skip tracing for those of you that are doing cold calling. They ever need to look up a record, anybody, right? A lot of people in the industry, everyone's got a skip tracing thing, but most of these freaking companies charge like 15 cents a record, right? 10 cents, 15 cents a record. We're able to get down the package, at least when we can buy in bulk, we got it down to 6 cents. Which if you guys can find any company that skip traced for less than 6 cents and it's quality data, I'll give you $100 right now. Anyways, these are tools that our team has developed, and it started with a need in-house, right? It started with a pain point saying, gosh, I'm tired of going through these stupid CRMs and they keep on breaking, or they don't do what I need them to, right? So we're building these tools in-house that are actually solving real problems that we have as real estate investors, right? Cool thing about that, as entrepreneurs, we can take these solutions we've created, box it up, and offer it as a package to any investor, United States or the world, for that matter.
Are y'all doing the coding in-house, or how does that work?
That's the guy to, I don't know. That's the who.
Why do you code?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, okay.
So we can talk.
Yeah, you can help me.
Boom, my man.
Well, you can have some APIs built that I think one of our sites is currently down because I messed up the
Yes,
safety.
we need coders, yeah. Team. So there's another amazing book for readers in the room. Who, Not How. Who, Not How will change the way that you view life and business. You don't need to always know the answer to every problem. In fact, you probably shouldn't, right? But if you can find the right person in your network, in your ecosystem that can help solve it, you just solve that problem, right? You don't need to be the master of all trades. In fact, you try to master everything, you're going to accomplish very little, right? But who, not how is how can you build your inner circle and your tribe with people that are smarter than you, that have different skill sets, different abilities, different gifts and talents, right? Build that power team around your vision, and that is how you go far, right? So again, tired of spending stupid money on skip tracing, so we figured it out. And that will be implemented in the CRM too. So you guys should not even have to leave that CRM, anybody using it. It replaces Podio, Investor Care. It's got websites, by the way. Website. Replaces Batch, Call Tools, Call Rail. You shouldn't need anything else, again. It's cool. And here's the big thing, right? The CRM, the tools, the softwares, like that stuff gets me like giddy inside. I get pretty excited about it because we've been building our community, right? Talking about like the hedge fund code and what we're doing. I build more opportunities by empowering more people now, right? The one-to-many approach. When I can empower more people and help them scale their business and their organization, it's going to help us grow too, right? And then when we look at all these other mentorship programs, I'm like, okay, these guys got mentorship around this, and they got a bunch of training courses that do that, and it's cool. They got the community aspect, but I don't know any of them that have a system that actually teach and train a business system. So the CRM is the missing link, right? Where we bring people into our ecosystem, we train them, we empower them, we give them the tools, the marketing strategies, everything in between. And guess what? We merge them into the customer relationship management platform, the CRM, and we turn them into a freaking machine. That's the goal, right? There's a lot of mentorship programs. We're lacking the systems. If you want to build a business, you need systems. So here's our wants. Here's what we're looking for, our group. We need houses. Crack houses, boarded up houses, nice houses, pretty houses. We need houses. We need them. So if you guys got any deals, please send them our way. We love mobile homes. Mobile home that comes with land is even better. We'll buy it. Land. We actually just finished the land acquisition strategy inside of our community where we're taking the wholesale model. We've partnered with some of the biggest developers in the Midlands, upstate, and we got Myrtle Beach, right? So those are our 3 target markets. But we're looking for tracts of land 5 to 100 plus acres, right? 5 and up. That's close to subdivisions that might be getting built or anything in between. Because when we're looking at the land deals, think about your wholesale check and add like another 0 or 2, right? Like we're talking bukus. 100. Riley just cut a check for $250 million pay, like assignments. Literally just packaging it up. And our team has the ability to bring it through the entitlement process. So we go through the entire due diligence, soil tests, engineering plans. We run it by the county. We get it zoned according to what it can possibly be zoned for. So we're teaching more people how to go after this, right? Why? Because what starts off as this, a simple strategy, Guys, you can apply that to any asset class. Now, don't get shiny objects. If I can give you one piece of advice tonight, and I know it's hard when I'm like, hey guys, we need this. Focus on one thing. If you're focusing on too many angles, you're going to accomplish absolutely nothing. So figure out what that niche is that you want to master and commit every ounce of your being at becoming an expert. Once you've mastered that, guess what? You can fire yourself, hand it off to a virtual assistant, or build a team member in-house that could carry that out, right? So again, focus on become an expert at one thing, right? Find that marketing niche, find that probate list or whatever you want to become an expert and do that. But I throw this out there to, hey, land deals, I've been sleeping on these for 4 years, 5 years. Holy cow. This is retirement right here. Where's Carrie at? Yeah, we got a big one. We got a big one that we're working out. Sellers' expectations are a little bit high. It's an interesting story. That's a story for another time. But anyways, big opportunities. Storage units. If you guys run across any storage units, our private equity group got a lot of money that's got to be dispersed. So we're hungry for inventory. And motel buildings. Strategic angle. Hey, can I give them the roadmap? Hotels, motels. All right. We're looking for motels. 10 to 50 units. Could be run down. They could be in operation. We'd love to look at it. Our goal is to take these motels. It's a model that we've been studying for a minute. Because it's zoned as a hotel, we can't rent it out like an apartment complex on annual leases, but we can position it as an extended stay, right? So we can rent it out by the week, by the month, per room, right? So just keep that in your back pocket. You guys find any hotels, I'm your guy. Who? Let's go, Blair. Someone give Blair a hand. Let's go. All right, guys. Bob told me to come and give the most value that I could tonight. So if you guys want to pull out your QR code reader things, this thing here will pull you up to a free opt-in. And in the opt-in, I'm giving you guys the Wholesalers Playbook. We got over 50 training courses, over 50 modules recorded, boxed up inside of our ecosystem for the Wholesalers Playbook. This is the best place for a newbie wholesaler to get started and learn everything that you need. I say everything. A lot of moving pieces. We touch on a bunch of different strategic angles and marketing mixes with it. After you sign up for that, I got an offer.
Thank you.
All right, after you guys opt in, again, there's over 50 training lessons inside here. There's a lot. It's a lot to get started. It's going to take you to a sales page. We charge $200 a month inside of our inner circle every month. There's a $2,000 sign-up fee because you guys are local and I want to do deals with you. If you guys put the coupon code Midlands in all caps lock, it'll take 75% of the total. It's $500. It's a big ask. If you don't have the money, don't spend it. Don't spend it. You got all the material you need right here, right? A lot of good stuff in the Wholesalers Playbook. But if you're ready to scale and you want access to all these training platforms, Wholesalers Playbook, Hedge Fund Code, Portfolio Division, Multifamily Acquisitions, Land Acquisitions, battle-tested closing systems. We do have the crypto blockchain vault. Obviously, it's not real estate. And we got Virtual Assistant Training Academy. So every Friday, my virtual assistants, we have a recruiting base so we can hire VAs when you need them. But my virtual assistants train virtual assistant teams or new people that are just getting started around batch dialer, predictive calling tools, and we're also going to be training inside of the CRM once it's launched. Right? So again, if you guys don't have the money, don't spend it. You got a free freaking offer right there. But I'm extended 75% off. It'll be $500 today, $49 a month. Moving forward. Membership economy. And that, you guys joined that, that's the Investor Syndicate Alliance. That's our inner circle group. That's where we give away everything. But the goal is just to build a community so strong, right? We want passion-filled entrepreneurs that see big picture, right? They got a vision much larger than themselves, and they're not afraid to go get it. That's the type of people we want inside of our community. If you ain't got the passion, probably not a good idea, right? Anyways, people are counting on you guys. The window of opportunity is here for so long, right? Not to put the sale aside. The window of opportunity for you guys to open up and step into, right? It's right in front of you. Knock, right? Knock. Ask for it. I'm telling you, God will give you the desires of your heart if you get out there and you get it. Recession ahead. We touched on this a little bit. Who feels it? Yeah. Yeah, it's here. It's here. This was just to make sure you guys were still awake. Recession is here, guys. But as creative real estate investors, as deal practitioners, right? Obviously, you don't step out of the box as a deal practitioner, but creative real estate investors, guys, we have a unique edge in this market. And as more foreclosures start to come due and this moratorium and forbearance programs gone, right? Eventually, they're going to stop kicking the can down the road. There's going to be some blood in the streets. There's going to be a lot of opportunities, right? Warren Buffett said it best, be fearful when others are greedy. Like the unicorn season, market's been too damn good. Where I bought a ton of money in crypto and I'm holding the bag right now. But be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. By the way, crypto will change the world. Just saying that. It's like Albert Einstein said that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Blockchain technology is the 9th. I'm telling you, don't sleep on crypto. Crypto's down, load your bags. Not financial advice. My clicker's dead, Bob. Maybe I turned it off. Beep. I'm almost done. I got like 2 more. All right. Power at your fingertips. Right here, guys. Everyone pull out your phone. Take a picture. I know it's uncomfortable. Just take it. Social media, guys. What? Social media has changed the way that we view business and the way that we do business. It's an incredible tool. We treat our social media like a business now. Crazy. You guys think it's a joke, this YouTube stuff? I mean, I'm not doing YouTube to try to get paid by YouTube. I'm going on YouTube to build my brand authority so we can do deals together. Right? Don't get it twisted. You got power at your fingertips, guys. This freaking tool, this broke down that barrier to entry, right? But most of us use it as a distraction. It's a distraction mechanism, and it's all by design. The Buku corporations and the Facebooks of the world, they know that the more attention that you spend on this app, the more advertising revenue that they're going to make. They also know that it's going to keep us enslaved in this system, and we're going to be arguing over bullshit that we should not be arguing over. Guys, utilize this as a tool. Cancel everything else. Cancel the distractions. Cancel the fear. And freaking go out there and claim the life you guys deserve. For real. Power at your fingertips, guys. It's all in how you use it. And I'm going to end with this, guys. Bet on yourself. I dare you. Bet on yourself, guys. The best decision that I ever made was to bet on me. Everything, all the physical reality, everything that's come forth since that season, since I went all in on my dreams, it's just manifestation, right? It's just seeing that vision come to life. Everything starts in your mind. Everything. The cars, the skyscrapers. There's a man that's building a spaceship to fly to Mars right now. Let that sink in, right? starts in your mind. You guys have the power to do anything that you want. And with that, guys, I'm thankful for the opportunity. Thank you for showing up. We out.
Thank you, man.